Does Renuvion work on saggy arms? Yes, 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 and thrice yes. Yes. I think saggy arms are probably the best use of Renuvion.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
The best. Come in and I will show you a video on saggy arms. It is the most mind-blowing. I show this to surgeons, this video, and they are blown away. And it is me doing the operation at the time. There is no Photoshop wizardry. It's video. There's no magic. Oh, I did a live surgery masterclass. I was showing people how to use Renuvion. About 30-something surgeons came to Berkshire Grove Hospital in January, and we did this live surgery masterclass on Renuvion. And this was in a tummy, but during it, so I've liposuctioned this tummy, I've contoured this tummy, and then I Renuvion it, and I've Renuvion one half and not the other. And I'm pulling up the skin on each side equally, and one side goes and one side goes woo. So it's the side that hasn't had Renuvion, you can pull the skin up, and the side that has had Renuvion, you're just getting this slight little tug. So
it's amazing,
and that's in real time. It's live. It's just incredible. And the result you get on table is a fraction of the result you get after a week, which is a fraction of the result you get after 3 months. It's just awesome.
It keeps working.
It's the gift that keeps
down
on giving.
The road, so yeah, it's really, really fantastic.
Yeah, it's very good.
So your new favourite toy?
Well, that's all Liposaver. That's all Liposaver. Yeah. So when I got Liposaver for the first time, they fly over, they watch you using it, they make sure you're safe before they'll let you totally loose. And at one point, this guy said, and it's an Italian guy actually, so I could understand him, but he didn't know I could understand him. And he says to his fellow, he said, "This guy's got a good technique. You can switch it up to 100%." I didn't realise they had me on numpty mode until that point, and I switched it up to 100%, and
then it really kicked in.
Really kicked in, and I'd already thought it was good, and then on 100%, they looked over at me and someone said, "I wish we had been videoing your face when we did that, because you just, suddenly, oh my God, I love this." It's like if you ever played an arcade game or something and you get the power up and you start blasting with it and suddenly, oh my God, this is a different game. This is fun. So that's Liposaver. I like it a lot.
So does Renuvion work on its own or just with liposuction?
Yeah, so I'm going to say, okay, it is reported as being usable on its own. I personally don't see the logic or the rationale or even the basic science of how that can work. So I'm going to say with lipo. I'd go so far as to say, if I have someone who doesn't need lipo and they want Renuvion, I will lipo them with the suction switched off and then Renuvion them. I don't even need to suction anything, but you do need to use the lipo. Why? What's going on? What Renuvion does, okay, fat doesn't exist under your skin like a layer of butter just smeared there. It's embedded in this kind of 3D fishing net of collagen. And you get diagrams of this. I've got this great photo of this collagen, which is still left behind after you've liposuctioned the fat out. So you liposuction the fat, you leave behind the collagen. And what the Renuvion is doing is
the collagen is the net, right?
Is the net, yeah. And it's not a microscopic thing. It's a big structure. You can see it. You can grab it. It's
the strands.
These strands, yeah. And what the Renuvion is doing, it sends out this little bolt of lightning to each of those strands, just passively arcs to them because they're the path of least resistance, and it heats them. It heats it to 85 degrees in 0.04 seconds, causing a 60% reduction in length. It causes it to contract by 60%. So it's just heating, and they shrink, and it heats the neck, and now it's no longer the path of least resistance, so it goes to the next one, heats it, and it shrinks. It's just causing these things to shrink. But two things. First of all, this arc of lightning, which is made out of plasma, this stuff called plasma, has to be generated in a gas. And helium is a great gas to do this for a couple of reasons. It makes quite favourable plasma for various reasons. And it is also quite insulating, so you don't get much bystander effect. So you inflate the space. If you imagine you've got this collapsed fishing net, well, how can you do anything to that? You just buzz one area and it'll just whatever. So you've got to inflate it out so that you can pass through it and then contract bits of it down, and you inflate it with a gas that is a good gas for making plasma in. So that's what you do. So you need to create the space, and you create the space with liposuction. If that person just doesn't need liposuction, then you can still just make the space with a liposuction cannula and inflate it. But you can't just try to pass this Renuvion through a solid block of tissue. That won't work. It's got to have space to work in.